Hey everyone, welcome back to this channel. This is a video response to Dom, who goes under the name Seeking a Thread, who lives in and around New York and is a record fanatic and all-round excellent music enthusiast. I think his taste is impeccable, really. Very interesting array of records, and there's not very many YouTubers that make these kinds of videos that I really genuinely like and connect with, and I think Dom is one of them. You know, we don't have the same tastes in everything, but I think generally we have some parallels in our collections. And he was just talking about ambient guitar and that sort of, you know, I thought I've got quite a few records that could kind of fit in that box. And it's just really fun to just go back into your stacks and listening to music you haven't heard for a while and immerse yourself into a sound. And no, it's just really like, and so some of these records he's talked about vaguely, or he's kind of approached, and some others he hasn't. And I think it's just worth it's like an episode of Revolutions, but just on one style of music. This one is a very kind of a crossover thing. And he started with, you know, German, I would say loosely krautrock, and just sort of, I thought, I haven't played those forever, you know. The New Age of Earth by Ashra, formerly Ashra Temple. What an astounding, stellar piece of music, you know. So this is the band fronted by Manuel Gutsching, a guitar wizard if there ever was one. Just really sort of cosmic, yeah, absolutely cosmic music. Some of these I'm not going to talk about too much about them because he's touched upon them, as well as, for example, things like that. Like, I mean, obviously just the title alone, Inventions for Electric Guitar, really sublime, you know, transcendental nearly, I would say, music. It just takes you into a space. And yes, ambient music made on guitar, absolutely, from 1974. Yeah, kind of Berlin school, but yeah, with guitar, you know. Tangerine Dream used synths, and Ashra Temple used guitars. And you've got other bands like, obviously, La Düsseldorf, which, you know, used much of the kind of same principle of sort of driving guitar and motoric drums, you know. So you have, for example, these kinds of records, you know. But I'm not going to talk about these too much, you know. I played them during the week. Viva, which is, if you ever go to Germany, you can find copies of Viva and La Düsseldorf in just about every bin for nothing. Like, they're so cheap, you know. As well as those, for example, these here. These I want to talk about a bit more. Such underrated classic, especially Sterntaler. Sterntaler is just a beautiful record. It is a bit like a Neu record, you know. So Michel R was half of Neu, and Klaus Dinger was the drummer. But Michel R is really, his sound is kind of unique, you know. It's kind of this crystalline, driving kind of, yeah, again, I'll use the word cosmic, but it's scintillating. It takes you into a different galaxy, you know. And I love this more maybe than Flammender Herzen, the Flaming Hearts record. Although they're both very, very good, but I think I've got a slight, yeah, obviously recorded at Connie Plank's studio. And not just guitar, I mean, there's like, on these you've got synth and organ and all that, but they're mostly guitar records. And you can find these as OGs again in Germany very easily, as I did. Another band that comes to mind when I think of sort of like Berlin School, cosmic music, and guitar is the Italian band Sensations Fix. It's a band that was fronted by, I think they were from Rome from memory. They were fronted by Franco Falzini, and we have sort of a mix between Tangerine Dream, Halden, a sort of King Crimson-esque Frippatronics kind of approach as well in there. These records are beautiful. If you don't know Sensations Fix, you're in for a treat. This has got some beautiful ambient guitar parts on it, and also this one here, which I think is gorgeous. It's the Nazo Freddo, the Cold Nose soundtrack from, I don't know, 1975 or whatever, 76, by Franco Falzini. I'll put the name underneath so that you can Nazo Freddo, Cold Nose. So that's, yeah. So I played those and I was really like, and staying in the kind of look at that period of time. Some French records, on this one here. That's a really great sort of proggy ambient guitar album. Verto, which is the band which is fronted by Jean-Pierre Grasset, who was also linked with what's the other band? You got Michel Goubin and Charles Goubin from Potemkin. That's the band I was trying to refer to, and this is an original on Pole Records, obviously. Which is a classic French electronic underground label, and this record is absolutely, it's top notch. Again, the Goubin brothers, as I said, were in Potemkin, and Potemkin is more like a Zul band. It has more of a sort of like Canterbury school feel, but definitely this is very, very Frippatronics, very much in that kind of vein, and in the sort of Halden mold, this beautiful record, George Grunblatt, which is the album is called Capris. I think that's a play on word, the French word caprice, which is like a whim, when you want something for no reason. And this is Richard Pinas and George Grunblatt, and it is an absolute, it's just a gorgeous record. 1977, very ambient. Again, super cosmic guitars on it, played by Richard Pinas, and he also plays the synths and the vocoder on this. And you've got Patrick Gauthier and Michel R, who were in Magma, basically. Every prog musician from that period basically played in Magma. This was given to me by Tony, Mr. Fatboy 79, and Mike, Boston and Reggie, who may or may not be watching, but they're friends of mine, and we talked every day on WhatsApp anyway. But they gave it to me when I met them in New York all those years ago, 2016. Now, when I was thinking also of ambient guitar, I thought straight away of ECM for some reason. And another thing. So, for example, I thought of ambient guitar, and I thought, well, one of the first names that comes to mind is Toar's Ribor, who was a Norwegian guitar player, supremely gifted and very icy kind of playing. And this band, they're all from Scandinavia, so it's in the blood. The ice is in the blood, as it were. But I've really loved this record. It's so sparse, but also there's so much going on at the same time. It's guitar, but then you got oboe, flute, tenor sax, you know, electric piano. So it's not per se an ambient guitar album, but it has elements for me that sort of fit in that category. That's an ECM original from 1971. And also here, this record here, which I thought is just impossibly gorgeous, Odyssey. I think the masterpiece by Ribor. And even in some ways, even more icy, even more sort of, has more of a kind of even, you know, spectral quality about it. Odyssey, it's wonderful. I urge you to play the track called Midnight. It's the same. It's the second track on side one. It's 16 minutes, but it's just astonishing. And staying on ECM, this guy here just is a wizard to me. I mean, just completely, utterly. How can you resist? I mean, this is just music that you can listen forever and ever, and you'll always discover new things. Ravtner, American guitar player. Again, they're not, you know, they're not solely guitar. This one, for example, is Ravtner playing 12-string and classical guitar, piano and gong. So it's all him, overdubbed. But gosh, it's beautiful. I mean, Dark Spirit, Icarus, that's the last track on side one, you know. And Mon Enfant, which is the first track on side two. My God, these are just as good as ECM gets in some ways. That came out in 1974. Solstice, which is, I mean, probably is the Ravtner masterpiece of that era. Although the solo concert, which I haven't included there, is probably my favorite Ravtner, but this has got some gosh. There's a track on this called Piscian Dance, Piscian Dance. Sorry, not Piscian. Side two. Gosh, it's got a drum break at the start, which is just mind blowing. This is just again pastoral, gorgeous, Nimbus first track on it. Amazing. And I was thinking of this one too. This one is very underrated in the catalog. Batic is beautiful, you know. It's been chewed there. But you know, again, you know, and the title track, Batic. I mean, if you want to get something exceptional out of this, just listen to that. So is ACM. I was also thinking of another school of guitar playing, which is ambient, is the great Vinnie Riley, Factory Records, Toarplane. The debut album, his debut album, the return of the Toarplane, which is my copy is an Australian original with textures and everything. This came out also with a sandpaper cover. We don't want that. That ruins every other record. This is just simply, I mean, divine. In different style, very much kind of doomy and gloomy, and with flashes of optimism here and there. But Vinnie Riley was, you know, he was his own man. I mean, when he made those records. Got me to revisit with that Mercy, Factory 84, beautiful record, and I love the stuff they've done with this, the hand pasted sleeve, the back, just gorgeous. But this has got piano and guitar, you know, and it's just lovely. I mean, and I played because this is a 3 CD affair. I played the first CD of the Guitar and Other Machines, which tells you everything you need to know. Yeah, amazing. In the style of the Toarplane, I've talked about this record recently. Lou for the Morning. It's a local artist. Yeah, they're a bit like a sort of modern Vinnie Riley, but from Melbourne. Saw them a few months ago, playing along a movie. Um, Uses a lot of kind of loops. It just very very gifted, very very beautiful music, very Vinnie Riley esque. You could take a listen on Bandcamp or whatnot. This came out in a run of like 100 or 200 copies. This one, and even the hype sticker says, you know, there we go. This here is probably more widely available if you're interested. This is Steve Hyatt, Girls in the Grass. Now, Steve Hyatt, very under the radar guitar player. He was also a photographer. He made a couple of records, and it's nothing that sort of. His other records, the Ocean. On the road, down on the road by the beach, which is referenced there on the hype sticker, is more like a Vinnie Riley meets the Beach Boy kind of Beach Boys kind of atmosphere. And this one is more solemn, a little bit darker, gloomier, but again beautiful, again sparse ambient guitar. And I would have to talk a little bit about Michael Brook. Who is a fantastic Canadian guitar player, and this is Hybrid, which is the record that he made with Daniel Lanois and Brian Eno. Very Fourth World inspired, but all the same. It's a record I've had for years and years and years. I don't know how many years I've had this, but I rarely play it, and thank you, Dom, for making me pull it out, because it's really, really excellent. 1985 on EG. And I'm going to finish with a pile of like more recent or like odds and sods. Dom was talking about Grouper, Liz Harris. Those two are fantastic, phenomenal records. What are they called? Because there's nothing on these, there's just completely barren. So a little bit of info. So these are two 40 minutes guitar suite, well, ambient, sorry, droney suites, not ambient guitar, but ambient, which are sort of like, they like, it's a two-part kind of album, and the name is AIA, and one of them is Alien Observer, and the other one is called Dream something something. I can't read. It's too small. But they're excellent records, both of them. Liz Harris, very kind of sort of immensely under the radar as well. But I think she wants it like this. She doesn't. She's not looking for stardom. A little bit oddball and a bit. This has nothing to do with the rest, but there's a lot of ambient guitar on this. Beautiful slide guitar. This is one of my top 5 favorite movies, I think. I don't know why I pulled this out. It's not really anything to do with the rest, but I just thought, Paris, Texas, Ry Cooder with his slide guitar. I'm not a huge Ry Cooder fan, but this album is it's gorgeous. A little bit of shoegaze, which is, this album, for example, Souvlaki, totally fits the ambient guitar. I think this is Pigmalion by Slow Dive. What did I say? Did I say Souvlaki? No, Pigmalion. Sorry, I'm tired. This is gone for too long already. But this is an excellent ambient-ish. There is local band, and I think this would be my favorite slow dive record. I think it has to be. It's so delicate and like it's so hushed. You can barely hear what they're singing. It's and in the same vein, and this is a local record, which you probably won't find easily, obviously. This is kind of like a slow dive record, but it's from Melbourne and was recorded around 96, 97. And the band's called Hydroplane. This is a gorgeous, again, shoegaze, dream pop, atmospheric record with vocals, but I think it fits what I'm talking about here. On the same label, Efficient Space, a reissue which I really loved. This Efficient Space is the label. It is Belverien, is a band from Spain. This is instrumental shoegaze, very sort of cosmic as well. And I love the sleeve, it's beautiful. And I don't know if you can find this easily, but it's just basically guitar and drums and bass. And super beautiful, super ambient. Just got a couple more, two more. Here's one that's, I don't know much about this. This is Dirk Series. Dirk Series, I don't know if the camera will pick up, and it's called Micronics. This was played at a shop I was at, and it was kind of lovely, and I picked it up as a result. There's a series of them. I don't know anything. I know it sounds really beautiful, and it's kind of Dirty Colon-esque with a bit more electronics weaved in. It's something to check out maybe. And the last one I want to show you here is this beautiful Toarplane. He's a guitar player from, well, musician from, I think, Baltimore or somewhere around there. And he makes lots of albums. And this one picked up a few months ago because it's from 2022. And it is kind of like an Ashra meets Dirty Colon meets something a bit more electronic, something more, Aphex Twin, glitchy kind of, I don't know how to describe this, but I love this Toarplane. So that's it. Just a response. I mean, I didn't mean to go that long, but I hope you enjoyed, and yeah, leave me some comments as usual. Thank you. Take care.